Okay, I have a brand new routine to share with you today. Now this routine, unlike many routines out there, this one can be performed face up or face down. Either is just fine. Now, in an effort to keep this video as short as possible, I will not be giving a lengthy mathematical explanation of what's going on, but during the performance, I'll give you road signs as to where we are, what structures are in play, what mixing can be done, and I'll point out which shuffles are essential for all of this to work and which are optional, in that they just mix the cards further to help convince the spectator that the cards are indeed well shuffled. Okay, so I have Ace through Queen of Hearts, as you can see, and as I said, we're going to do this face up. Now, I'm going to be using a shuffle that, quite honestly, I've never seen anyone use before. I've used it a few times. It's called the Alternate Klondike. So this is where you take a pair off. It's Klondike Shuffle, but you deal into two piles, left, right, okay, just like that. With random stacking decided by the spectator. How would you like them stacked? Left on right, okay? From here, and that mixing is essential, what I just did. Now here's some optional mixing. You can do a Charlier shuffle, and I can add a link in the description below to show you how to do this mixing, a Charlier shuffle. And then you could even optionally have the spectator randomly cut the cards at any location and complete the cut. At any point, you can show the spectator the cards, and they can stare at them as long as they like. Okay. And now from here, we're going to perform the alternate Klondike another time with random stacking decided by you, the spectator. How would you like these stacked? Right on left? Okay, very good. That mixing is essential. The packet is now mirrored, so we have the stay stack principle. So the mixing I'm going to do next is optional, but will certainly drive home to the spectator that really nobody could be controlling these cards in a way to achieve some predetermined outcome, okay? So the stay stack principle says for each divisor of the packet size, we can deal the cards into two piles with random stacking decided by the spectator. We can do one of these or 100 of these, and it won't hurt anything. It's still a mirrored packet. Now these are terms you'll have to pick up on my channel, since they're fundamental to much of the card magic that I perform. Since the number 3 divides evenly into 12 as well, we're still doing optional mixing here using the stay stack principle. We can stack from left to right or right to left, decided by the spectator. Some additional optional mixing you can do is into 4 piles, because 4 divides into 12 evenly. So the stay stack principle says we can do the following. We can stack the top row on the bottom or vice versa. You want bottom on top? Your choice as the spectator, then left on right. So we can deal out into 2 piles, random stacking, 3 piles, stacking from left to right or right to left, 4 piles in the way I've just shown you, as many times as the spectator would like. From here, we're just going to finish. I'm going to Klondike pairs of cards to the table, just like this. Okay, and then I have a written prediction off to the side. Okay, so let's just take a look at that. So what could I have possibly seen ahead of time? Okay. All 6 pairs of cards will add to prime numbers. So just as a reminder, a number is prime if its only divisors are 1 and itself, okay? So 3's prime, 5, 7, okay, and that kind of thing. So let's just check to see if that's even true. So all of these will add up to prime numbers. Okay, so 10 and 9, 19. 19 is a prime number. 5 and 6, 11. 11 is certainly prime. Ace is a 1 plus 2 is 3. That's prime. An 8 and a 7 add to 15. Okay, that's not prime, actually. Okay, we have one little issue here. Queen is 12. A jack is 11. That's prime. 23 is a prime number. See, 3 plus 4 is 7. That's certainly a prime. Okay, so we have one fly in the ointment here. See, we have an 8 and a 7. They add to 15. That is not prime. Yep. Oh, yeah, you're right. Here's the exception. We seem to always have. Except for the 7 and the 8, which of course what? Add to 15, of course, which is not prime. Okay. So we nailed the entire written prediction before all of the choices were made by you, the spectator. So this can actually be done face up, which is what I've just done. You may want to do it face down, but it really doesn't matter because 99.9% of people will see nothing. They will not see the hidden structures that we have in mind throughout this entire routine. Okay, so when I had ace through queen, I simply viewed it as an AMP, which stands for adjacent, these very pairs, adjacent mirrored pairs. And all of these pairs here add up to prime numbers, except for 15. And then we perform the alternate Klondike. That converts it to a 2-cycle with cycle length 6. It's cyclic, so you can Charlier shuffle or randomly cut it. I performed the second alternate Klondike. That converts it to a mirrored structure where the pairs, instead of being next to each other or in a cyclic relationship, they're on opposite ends from each other, kind of like this right here. Okay, where they're on opposite ends as you come in. Stay stack principle, which I can add a link to in the description below. A very powerful principle in mathematical card magic allows you to mix the packet at that point into as many piles as you like, as long as that number of piles is a divisor of the packet size. And one of the reasons 12 is such a wonderful number in mathematical card magic is because of all of its great divisors. 2, 3, 4, 6, and so forth. Okay? And then from there, I just Klondike pairs of cards to the table, and it brings together the very pairs that we had in mind at the very beginning. And they all add, with one exception, to distinct prime numbers. Okay, well, you should be able to do this right away. I've shown you the steps. I've also pointed out what's essential in terms of the mixing and what's optional. So you can include any of the optional mixing. Of course, once it's a mirrored structure, there's far more mixing, but the stay stack principle allows. So take a look at the video regarding the stay stack principle. That one is certainly worth mastering. So thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.